we'll never not perform, you know.
All right.
I still think that what you said yesterday was hilarious when you were carrying the cameras in, what they could have possibly have
Well,
thought.
my husband said to me, he said, Sarah, do you know what people are going to think you're doing? And I said, I don't know because I don't think about that. If they're going to think you're filming a porn. And I just said to him, well, I will order some cocaine then.
Yes. Hey, we're in South Florida. I mean,
Yes.
you know.
Can we get some? I'm just joking.
I'm sure that it could be found. You know, I mean,
well.
Look, at one point in time, the what do you call them? The absolute top sheriff of Broward County took and made their own crack to sell on the
Did
streets.
they?
Oh yeah,
What the
Nick
fuck?
Navarro, the big thing about this whole thing, so that they could use it to entice dealers to come and buy their product, so that they could arrest them. So it was a really,
Entrapment.
in a way, yes.
That's fucking bullshit. I mean, what the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay,
Why
so
are you trapping people to do? I mean, what the fuck? Do something better with your life.
well, you would think,
Yeah, I would think.
you know,
Yeah.
but that's why Florida's called a sunny state for shady
Okay,
people.
so here it is. Florida established 1848 for shady people.
That's right, the sunny state for shady people.
The sunny state for shady people. Well, how shady are you? Are you
Well,
sunny
right
or
next-
shady?
Right next to Slim.
Oh.
Slim Shady.
Oh.
May I have your attention, please? I repeat, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? We're gonna have a problem here.
Slim
Shady, please stand up. Please. Okay, let's talk about Eminem. Okay,
Yeah,
8 Mile. Did you see 8 Mile?
they were my favorite candy.
M&Ms?
Yeah,
They're boring.
I love them.
Well, they're just sugar-coated bullshit. Just
Yeah.
horrible pieces of chocolate with this thing around the edge. There's nothing about them, which is nice.
Yeah, I know. I
They were
love them.
called Smarties in England. That's what they
Oh,
were
yeah,
called.
no, see, I'm sorry. Actually, and Canada.
Oh, were they? They were Smarties then?
Yes, and my grandmother always used to bring them to me, and they were my favorite of all time was the Smarties. They outdid the M&Ms by
Well, I
a
think
long
Cadbury's
shot.
outdoes Hershey's. What do you think?
Oh, I don't.
Oh, let's
I don't
talk
touch.
about how wonderful the British products are.
Yes. Well, there's
talk
a
about
lot of
British
things.
music.
There's a lot of things that people don't realize that are British. That,
All
like
right,
I said,
give me the first one.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Hey, I start off with water. I make my way up to ginger ale, and then I hit the root beer. So
Oh,
you got to be
darling.
careful.
Yes, you do.
Once you got to take my driver's my keys away after I hit the root beer.
Okay. Oh, take my keys away. That's a great fictitious title to a song.
It actually could be a
It
song.
could be, yeah, take my keys away.
I mean, let's be honest. Country songs have got some of those types of songs. So
I'm looking right now at this beautiful palm tree. So look to your right.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great view. For those of you who can't see the view, we're actually
Well,
looking at
we'll
the
film
ocean.
it, Frank. We'll go out
Yes.
there and film it, and then we can put that
Yeah,
in.
we'll-
so
we'll
you'll
put
see
it
what
in
we're
so they
looking
can
at
see it,
right
yes.
now. Yeah.
But for those that are listening in the podcast
Oh,
who
then I
can't
can't
see it.
see it.
Yeah,
so
see,
we
there
have to
are people
describe
that
it.
won't be able to see it. So I'm going to
Well, they'll
kind of
have to have an
describe
active
that a little bit.
imagination.
Yes.
Okay.
But basically, we're looking at about 4 or 5 palm trees out. We're on the 5th floor. Literally, there's no road in front of us. There's nothing but sand. And then a nice aquamarine green,
Oh my
blue, then the deeper blue, and then the sky. And it's just absolutely breathtaking.
Everyone is jealous right now.
Yes. And if they aren't, they should be.
They should be. That was a great way of describing that. So give me a little bit about your background. So you're able to put words together and you have a great voice and you describe something well. So let's talk about your background, then we'll talk a little bit about mine, and let's connect the viewers to who we are.
Okay.
So your earliest memory.
Well, let's see.
Were you being good or bad?
I was still inside the fetus, and no, I'm just kidding. Earliest memory of what specifically? You mean
Anything.
as being a kid?
Well, I have a memory of being about a year and a half old and standing up at the bars of my crib looking at my brother.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
Nothing happened,
Right,
but I
okay.
absolutely remember
so
that.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, my earliest memory that I have would be there's a picture of me, which is part of it, but it doesn't show the other direction, and I'll explain that's why of this memory. I was born in Fairbanks, Alaska, which was before it was a state in the United States. It was still a territory. And there's this picture of me, however old I am, probably couldn't be more than a year, because when do you start walking, about that age. And they've got me with this shovel, and there's snow on both sides of me, but all the way to the top of the picture. You can't see anything, but somebody had already shoveled the snow, and I'm standing there. But what I remember, to your question, was the color of the house. The house was a red top, a yellow middle, and a green bottom. And the reason I remember that is because it's the same as the stoplight.
That Rastafarian colours?
Well, in a way, it is, but not in the same direction.
Okay.
It was, because they go vertical, this went horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
So it was different in that aspect. Like I said, it was like a stoplight. And I always, and
So
somebody,
someone painted the house like a stoplight.
yes, but not for that reason.
And it wasn't your mum and dad, it was the person that owned it
Probably
before.
owned it,
Yeah.
We did.
So what was the reason they painted like a traffic light?
Because back in those days, everything was in limited supply, so they used
Like
whatever was
paper fucking
available.
had.
Yeah, and so that's how it was.
Well, that's
but
very
you asked
nice,
my
though.
earliest memory,
Yeah.
and that's my earliest
My
memory.
traffic light house.
It's like, and so that was my earliest memory, and it's always been like, why do I remember? But like you said, because it's
It's
always
just
like
something. It's a snapshot in
Yeah,
your mind, isn't
yes,
it?
it
Yeah,
is,
and I
yes.
have thousands of those. They're not cohesive because you can't see it like a movie.
No.
But they just kind of pluck up.
Yeah.
So the subconscious houses all memory of what we have been through. Would you agree to that as a proposition?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
We just don't know how to call it up sometimes, but
Well,
it's
ask and thou shalt
there.
receive.
Yes.
Okay, you call it up by asking. You have to know, if you're playing this video game, you have to know that you have a resource which you can't feel in your everyday mind that comes to you by asking.
Okay, back up a second. What video game are we playing?
Okay, so The Mirror World is my book, the video game. We're playing a video game, and we're playing a video game, and each of us are gods in our video game. We're the observer and the participant. What we call in our video game is what happens, and the vibration is the mechanism from which to activate your quantum field, which is the video game. So the higher your vibration, which means love, understanding, patience, kindness, joy, will be what gets you into the better sectors of the quantum field. What gets you into the horrible sectors of the quantum field is you have a mean spirit, that you're a victim, you're judging, you're condemning, your thoughts are all over the place, and you have no control over your mind. So if you think pure thoughts, you're going to get into better sectors, and if you think shitty thoughts, you're going to get into the shitty sectors, and trust me, I've done both. Have you?
Yeah, well, actually, more often than not, I've said many times I don't believe in coincidences, and things happen for a reason, good or bad. And what you were just saying about the mind, if you create either good or bad, it's your creation, you know. So
and watch it play out in the quantum field. It will be an external reality.
yes, and you're part of that. And the problem is that you don't realize you're a part of that. You're your own part of your own movement.
Consciousness has to wake up to being conscious.
Yes, and that is
What we're
I
here
am.
to do.
I think. Therefore, I am.
Yeah.
But actually, we've all heard those lines somewhere in our life, You know, I think, therefore I am.
Well, Eckhart Tolle
But-
would say, I think, therefore I am not. And I kind of get what he says, because if you think, you're not in consciousness. If you're thinking, you're not awake. You're only awake when you're not thinking. So when Descartes said that, which is what, a few hundred years ago, I don't
Yeah.
think he was completely ahead of the game there,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm going to have a ciggy break and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Love you.